Knowing all of those past lives from your galactic reality,
Yeah.
how does that help us humans transcend everything that we're going through on Earth?
When I remember how other planets did it, why other planets are aware or evolved, is because they have much more, like they had the experience of transcending through so many steps in the evolution, and they were not like the big civilization from one day to the other, and they understand that we are in the process of evolution, so that's why they cannot interfere. And that's why I also think that one of the reasons why I remember this is to know that we are not in a hurry, that it's just a natural process, and that we have stuff to do for change and evolution. But I think that the reason why these memories can help is to kind of set us in a position of realizing the importance of our present, and not just trying to live like them or to reach them or stuff like that.
Hearing it.
Yeah. I think it's much more important that the acknowledgement of in which step we are right now.
There's a lot of people talking about speech, right?
When we were in Esalen,
Where?
in
Where's that?
California,
Oh, yeah.
we had how was it? Like a meeting with a lot of spiritual people, science people, and alien people, like the UFO, and there were some people from the government too, and they were sharing, like, we are having these discoveries that aliens are not traveling in spaceships, they're traveling in consciousness. It's a different technology.
Yeah.
And that's something I've been kind of explaining for years, that most of the beings are using the fifth dimension, which is information, and not the third dimension to travel. And it was interesting because there was one of the guys that was investigating all of this, like how the technology of consciousness works. And when the Weaver came and that guy was there, he was staring at them for like a long time until he felt uncomfortable and left. And when he left, he said, "Now we can talk." And by that I understood that there are many forces in this planet that are not yet ready to not only understand but also to handle the connection with other beings from other dimension. Because most of the beings that travel through space, they are not like the scientists govern people. They are more like tuning people. So if it's not in tune, it's difficult to connect with it. And it can be manipulated. So infiltrated, yeah.
So when you talk about the human, the divine within us, what concept of divinity, based on your galactic life, are you explaining to us?
Yeah, the divinity is a word that actually its real origin defines a photon. It's not defining a being that is invisible, it's defining how light moves in space. The word Deva, which is divinity.
That's beautiful.
The word Deva means comes from the word Yahweh or Yahweh, which is a ray of light from the sun. So every deva or every divinity is one specific frequency of light. So when I say divinity, it's basically every photon that is created inside an atom is part of that divinity. The essence that is manifested out of nothing between the electrons, between the quantums, that manifest into the visible reality, that's divinity. So for many beings in other dimensions, divinity is just the infinite amount of power that is within the atom. It's not a being in the clouds, or it's the infinite divinity that is within, which is everywhere. So when I explain about divinity, I basically talk from the perspective of those beings, of what I learned from them, which is divinity is all the power that is within every particle.
And it's also about immaculate conception, right? As a basic creation norm.
Yeah.
Is the divine then the divinity that we always call forth? Is it just a process of calling forth the void or the negative or the dark force? So that when before manifestation we go through that process?
Yes. Basically,
the process of creation.
Basically, the best way to connect with the divinity is when you go beyond everything that is perceivable in the universe. So you have to go within the atom in the void, where the laws of physics doesn't apply anymore. That's why in order to get closer to the divinity, you have to break yourself all the time, because the laws that makes you exist in that reality doesn't exist. They don't exist. So the law of gravity, the law of magnetism, the law of thermodynamics, everything that makes you perceive, feel, everything that you see, that you touch, that you smell, all of that, it's related to the laws of physics. So when you have to go to divinity, you have to break all the laws of physics to go to the core of existence, which from our point of view is void. But the reason why we perceive it as void is because there's no radiation to be perceived by our eyes, there's no magnetism to be perceived with our touch, there's no thermodynamics that makes us feel the hearing, the waves of particles or whatever. So that's why we consider it void, because we cannot appreciate the divinity with any of the five senses. So it's like, oh, there's nothing, but actually it's everything. It's the creation itself, but so in the essence of what divinity is, that the first thing that our body and our physical laws feel is fear, darkness, cold, everything that is against life, because life is related to the laws of physics. So when you have to transcend the laws of physics to get to the origin of divinity, the actual divine, the one that manifests everything, so you have to go through death. You have to experience your own death, your death of the physical realm, the emotional realm, the mental realm, the ego death, all of that, in order to access the truth. That's why it's so tough to access the divinity, because it means that you have to break all the laws of physics. And
so as humans, is it advisable for us to bring out our divinity when it ends up with no emotion and no feeling of love?
When you have a family and taxes to pay.
Sorry?
I wouldn't recommend it when you have a family to love and taxes to pay.
Taxes to pay.
The thing is that it's not a must. It's a choice.
It's not a must.
It's not something you have to do. It's not something that humans have to do. It's something that you can explore and choose. It's part of your choices and not as an obligation. So I wouldn't say I recommend it. I would say to be open to the experience. But I don't think every human has to do it.
But I'm glad you said the bit that it is that you can find it in everything, because I was about to argue that point. I was like, I could taste an apple and it is divine.
Of course, because it's an expression of the divinity.
Yeah. So, but before, that's why I'm saying I'm glad that you said that it's in everything, because up until that point, I wasn't agreeing with that.
Oh, okay.
You can't experience it through the senses, because there's certain things that I experience through certain senses that I access an expression of divinity.
No, the divinity expressed itself through senses.
Yes.
But the source of divinity cannot be felt by senses.
Right.
The source of divinity,
Yeah.
which is the very essence of it. You can feel and experience and believe divinity through senses, because it's an extension of it. But through the laws of physics. Yeah. It's a different way.
Yeah.
So that's why you can.
Expression.
Yeah, that's why you can. There's people that say, for example, like the native people, or people like you,
What?
that, for example, say, we can live in joy and enjoy life and the taste of things, and you can be connected to Earth and enjoy every second of this life and planet, because it's divinity, because it's So you say you don't have to do all that. You can just live that.
Yes.
You can just experience divinity through the senses.
Yes.
And there's other people that say, yeah, but there's also another divinity, or the other side of divinity, which cannot be sensed by senses. So both are right.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's just two sides of the same coin. Let's say. Sometimes the problem is when we believe that the other one is wrong, because, or one or the other.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think it's all of it, but
Yep.
yeah, that's why I'm glad you said it can be expressed through them.
Is it safe to say that God is just an illusion, and that the process of living is all that we need?
God is an illusion. Yeah. Because basically everything is a perception. So if everything is a perception, God is also perception. And it doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. The same way as you don't exist, or the sun doesn't exist. Everything is just a perception. Every color, every shape, everything that you're touching is just a perception of your brain, but actually it's not there. So God is the same. It's another level of illusion, but it's there.